Hey everyone, how you doing? Victoria Player here of victoriaplayer.com. Welcome to today's live training. I will wait a moment or two for you to jump online and join me. I know some of you will be waiting for the replay, so of course if you are joining us for the replay, then post a replay in the comments below. Hi, who have we got joining us? Say hello. Adeline, how nice to see you. I've not seen you since we were in Ashdown. Who else have we got joining us? Say hello in the comments below. And do also feel free to introduce yourself and your business, as always, so that we all can get to know you, because this is an opportunity for you to raise your visibility by being visible and present in the comments below. So, what have we got today then? Well, I've got a super exciting topic. Emily, hello, good morning. We were just chatting in Messenger. Thanks for joining me. Yes, today is a follow-on from what we were speaking about last Sunday. I hosted a training about how I went from zero to generating over £17,000 in 1 hour using speaking, and how you can too. So if you missed that, you can find it down here in the Inspire to Greatness group, or if you can't find it, just say, get me the other training in the comments below, and I will make sure you get hold of that, okay? Maribel, good morning. Mwah! Hello, nice of you to join us. So today we're carrying on from that theme, and we're talking about how to create an income breakthrough using speaking. As you can tell, it is one of my favorite ways to grow my business. I have realized it is definitely my natural way of reaching my audience. There's something about just being with people that I love. Adeline saying, I know, very busy with rebranding, tapping into some external resources for support, and generally growing the biz. Always looking for inspiration there. Absolutely. And you know, as business owners, we've always got to be learning and growing. We've always got to be one step ahead of our competitors, or, you know, we always need to, well, let's face it, the landscape of business is changing so quickly. And it's, you know, don't get me wrong, the old school model of client attraction is actually still very powerful. And I find even more so, you know, the power of one-on-one connection is where it's at, because we live in such a busy, fast-paced online world now. Sometimes actually caring enough to reach out to someone and talk to them really makes a big difference, and it's almost quite fresh and new. But other than that, you know, and you're a social media queen, aren't you? So you definitely have to be on the ball with all the changes. So we're looking at today how to create an income breakthrough using speaking. So I've got a lot to share with you, so I'm going to get straight into it. But so that I'm not having to stop and look at all your comments, which I will do periodically, please do use the emojis across the bottom of your phone or screen here. Give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts or some wows or whatever. Let me know what you're thinking as you're listening in. Morning, Alison. Welcome. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the comments. Also, if you know other women in business, particularly coaches, consultants, therapists, service-based business owners. These are the people I'm most able to help. So if you know anyone who fits that bill, who really wants to increase their visibility, who wants to make more money in their business, who wants to attract more clients, then send them over here. Invite them into the Inspire to Greatness group. Please don't just add them without their permission, because I think that's just rude. But yes, you know, share this group with them and invite them to come join the party and all the good stuff that we have going on here. Marie, hello. Nice to see you. I'll be seeing you on Saturday. Very excited about that. We've got, oh God, we've got the most beautiful Art Deco room. So classically Art Deco for Saturday. This is the event I'm hosting. It's one of those places that makes me feel like I need to wear one of those sweeping 1920s, 30s satin gowns, a la Amanda Wakely, you know, the sort of thing I mean. So anyway, we'll all be looking beautiful in there, I'm sure, on Saturday. Hold on, let me just straighten you up a little bit. You've gone a bit off kilter. There we go. That's better. So as I was saying, yes, invite people along to join us, and also I'd love to hear where you are coming in from. Post in the comments below, where are you based in the UK and around the world. And also, if you are listening into the replay, let me hear from you. Post replay in the comments, and all of you lurkers, because I know there's a lot of you, yes, you lurkers, that never comment, that never talk to me or any of the other ladies. Come forward, come and say hello, introduce yourself, join the party. We want to hear from you. You're always welcome. So let's get into this, ladies. I want to hear from you as we go along. I want you to share your ahas, or which bits of what I'm sharing resonates with you, or just is that light bulb moment that has you thinking, you know what, I've got to do this. I've got one of her kaftans. I've got a couple of her dresses that I very rarely get the opportunity to wear anymore. Emily, hello, I'm from West Sussex, so you're all quite close to me then, but everybody introduce themselves and let me know where you're coming from. So who is this training for? Well, as you might guess, it is for you if you're a coach, a consultant, a therapist, a service-based business. You will be somebody who wants to fill their business, or, you know, really amp up their client roster and start to get that consistent flow of business coming in. You may wish to maximize your marketing without working harder, you know, because we need to be doing some marketing every single day. And so, you know, as you get more busy, as you start to enroll more and more clients, and your day is filled up with the serving of those clients, you know, there comes a point when you have to really start maximizing your time, so that every minute that you spend marketing your business, you know you're reaching more people in less time. And basically marketing one to many, as we say. The other way this will be useful to you is if you are someone who wants to stand out in the crowd and, sorry, my eye is watering all of a sudden, and expand your influence, as well as commanding higher fees and knowing where to find clients that will actually pay your worth. Because let's face it, hands up, give me some fist pump or something in the comments if you are someone who would like to find higher paying clients. Anyone? Yes, anyone? There's not one of us, is there? We could always do with earning more, and I have a feeling you're going to fall down in a minute, so we've got some thumbs up there. Thank you for letting me know, ladies. Yeah, I mean, as we earn more money, our vision gets bigger, and so we always want a little bit more to have that better quality of life and more ease and security, and as women, a lot more bloody support, I would say. You know, get someone in to do the cleaning and VA and all that type of thing. And I tell you who's good girl for the VAing, that is Maribel, who's on here right now. So Maribel, say hello, introduce yourself. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do with you today is share with you how you can stop relying on one-on-one conversations. And don't get me wrong, there's always going to be a place for that. There's always, especially if you're selling higher ticket packages and programs and offers. You know, it's about starting to market one to many in a way that generates more sales to more people in less time. Sound good? Yes? Okay, so I hope that sounds juicy to you, because I really want to share with you exactly what you need in order for that to happen. Okay, and if you see me glimpsing down, it's because I have got some bullet points here to keep me on track, because I'm sharing quite a lot with you today and I don't want to waffle along. So the first thing that you need, and I hope you do have a notepad and pen ready to jot these down. Morning, Vicky, how are you? Nice of you to join us today. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the comments below. The first thing you need, ladies, is the one thing that is more important than your website, than your logo, and a business card. Because come on, ladies, let's face it, if you're newer in business, the thing I hear all the time is, oh, I just need to tweak my website, and I need to get my business cards printed. And even if you're more established in business, there's a lot of busy work going on. A lot of women are hiding behind their online structures and all these little whistles and bells. But you know what's most important, above and beyond everything, is your own sense of personal style. In every conceivable way, not just in the clothing, but in how you're communicating, how you come across, allowing your personality to shine through. And, it is about the way you dress. I know I shouldn't say that, and I don't want that to be true, but it is. Because the way the human brain is designed is that we look at someone and we immediately make a judgment. Immediately, in a split second. And do you know, statistically, and I mentioned this in the last training, that once someone has made that judgment of you, you need to have a conversation with them at least 10 times after that in order to change whatever judgment that might be. So, as much as I would like to say that your appearance doesn't matter, and I would like that not to be how our world is geared up, the truth is it is. And so whether you're just going out networking, whether you're meeting clients face to face, or whether you're wanting to go out and be more visible in this way, virtually or via speaking, people are making a judgment on your personal style. So you need to be thinking about having one that's aligned with a high-level business and brand. Now, I know I'm in my jeans thing here today, but clearly I'm sitting at home, but I'm made up, I've got my accessories on, I clearly made an effort. And, it's horses for courses. And Vicky, you're going to know all about this one. Vicky is, who you've just seen commenting there, she's a personal stylist. She can back me up on this one, as many of you I'm sure can. And, it is a piece that really, really is important, because before your mouth is open, people have already made an assumption about whether you're the real deal or not, whether you are a credible authority, whether you are someone who is aligned with your business and brand. Because it is about creating an impactful image, and managing your message via the power of dress. And it's a funny thing, because you will find that the way you dress, your appearance really calls in your kind of people. It really does. I'm not conventional in my business dress. As you know, I've had blue hair, pink hair, and so on. Although I'm always well groomed, I always try and make an effort. And I'm more of an arty-farty type. I'm more creative. The whole corporate thing is, I worked in corporate many years ago in the city in London. It's just not for me. And I don't like working with people who are too rigid. So if I dress too formally, it would call in the wrong people for me, the people that I don't enjoy working with. I'm more of a right brain thinker. I'm more of a creative person. I'm very, I say creative. I'm very left brain thinking as well. I'm both of those, but I just wouldn't be calling in my right clients if I wasn't dressed in the right way. My clothing and your clothing is almost like your business card, in the same way that someone's coming over to look at your website or your social media profile, or, you know, they look at your business card and say, oh, that's an unusual business card. You know, what is your appearance saying about your brand? Is the way you're coming across, is it aligned with your branding image? Because if it's not, there's a disconnect, okay? The other thing you've got to really remember is that you're influencing these first impressions, and those first impressions are what people are going to remember, because you need to make an impression that is memorable long after someone has met you, or even before someone has met you. So here's an example of this. I have been to, excuse me. Sorry, an update came up. I have been to events over in the States when I've been working with various mentors over there back in the day. And I have been in a room of hundreds of people, full of Americans, obviously, not knowing a single person. And I've had people run up to me saying, oh my God, it's you, Victoria. And I was like, hello, do I know you? Like, hello? Because at first she was pointing at me and I was doing the old, what, me? But it was me. And it's because she remembered everything about me. I had created an impression that even though we are literally oceans apart, she knew who I was from the other side of the room. And the same can be true with networking. If I get out and do networking, I repeatedly, especially when my hair was coloured, people would come over to me and say, oh my God, you're that Victoria player, aren't you? You're the girl that's always all over Facebook with the coloured hair. I remember you. There you go. First impressions. It was the appearance that they remembered. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to have pink hair like I did. You're going to do your own version of you. That whatever your version of you is, do the best version of you. One that stands out, that's memorable in the marketplace, that has an impact. One that really reflects your personality, your business, and your brand. You know, it's different horses for courses. You don't all have to look like me or someone else. You do you, but the best version of you. Got it? Super. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Who is hearing that and thinking, yeah, I could probably do with brushing up a bit on my image? So find the emoji that does hands up somewhere. If you're on your phone, find the emoji. Give me a hands up. If you feel that there's a little bit left to be desired with the appearance stakes. Yeah? Looking forward to seeing those from you. Okay, next one, second step. Oh, nearly knocked you over. Is about positioning. It's about standing out in a crowded marketplace and positioning yourself as a credible authority, as a credible expert within your niche. So my question to you is, how are you doing that? What are you doing to position yourself in people's mind as, she's the person I need to go to if I want X, Y, and Z, whatever your service is. Emily's got her hands up there for the image piece. Anyone else? Alison as well. Even I will put my hand up because we could all be better, couldn't we? Because it matters. It all matters. And unfortunately, as women, we live in a world where women judge other women based upon their appearance. And so does everyone, actually, because historically we've been like coat hangers, haven't we? We've actually been in the past, back in the Victorian days, we were presented out in society as a coat hanger and a representation of our husband's wealth. So historically, whether we like it or not, image matters. It's in our DNA and been handed down through the generations. Anyway, positioning. So what are you doing to position yourself in the marketplace? So whatever it is you do, how is it, what are you doing that's going to have people think, if I need such and such, you are the person I need to go to? How are you positioning yourself as that go-to expert? What are you doing on a regular basis that has people thinking, if someone comes to you, if someone came up to you and said, oh, I need a marketing expert or someone who can help me get clients, then you need to have people think, it's Alison I want, or it's Vicky I want for styling, or like Alison for hormonal stuff, and so on. What are you doing to be memorable in that way, to position yourself as a credible expert and a credible authority? That is something you need to be thinking about, so that you're sort of above and beyond other people. Because it's one thing being visible, it's another actually positioning yourself as someone who is the go-to person, okay? Marie's saying that's a big question. Exactly. Because that is when the magic happens, when you come across as an authority. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it's easy to immediately think, oh, I'm new in business, or, I'm not that well established, so who am I to position myself in that way? It's not to say that you need to know everything, but you need to know more than the people you're going to be working with. And so long as you feel in integrity around that, then that's okay. So long as you're honest about what you do and don't know. I mean, I've been in business for 10 years and I remember feeling that way myself, but I would very, early on say, look, I don't know everything, but here's what I do know. And I'm not perfect and I don't have all the answers, and I still don't, but here's what I can answer. And anything I can't, I probably know someone who can help me with that. But you need to come as the authority, because if you want to charge higher fees, you've got to come across as though you're confident. You've got to position yourself in the marketplace in that way. Next up, point number 3, Marie's saying I should have added, I don't know the answer. Yes. Next point, number 3, is to start marketing one-to-many instead of one-to-one, so that you can maximize your efforts, your results, and your income in less time. Okay, so when I start working with people, I always teach them how to get results by marketing one-to-one. Because the truth is, if you haven't mastered the one-to-one conversation, it is going to be super difficult for you to master one-to-many, because there's all eyes on you. It is much easier to have that one-to-one communication, and also it helps you get better at perfecting your message, at really understanding the people you're here to serve, the people you work with, and so that enables you to be able to use the language that really resonates with them, that connects with them powerfully. And you need that practice doing it one-to-one before doing it one-to-many. Or, you need to have worked on establishing a powerful message that really captivates the hearts and minds of your ideal clients. Because if you're going to be marketing one-to-many, it's fruitless if your messaging isn't on point, if you really don't know your people that you're here to serve. And that is an important point. But once you have mastered that, and even if you are marketing one-to-many, there's still the place for then moving it into one-to-one, because you market one-to-many, and actually I'm going to do a live training in next week probably, or later on this week, about marketing versus sales. Because even though you may be marketing one-to-many, I'm getting tongue-tied now, it is eventually going to have to come into the sales process, which does become more one-to-one, especially if you're looking to raise your fees or have higher ticket packages and programs. Because the truth is, people are simply not going to buy a higher end package from a virtual event or a speaking gig unless they've really been with you for quite a long time, unless they know you well. Okay, anything over £1,000 often requires a one-on-one conversation. Just to give you a little heads up there. This is one of the ways that you can really start to leverage your marketing. Once you become more graceful with the way you're marketing one-to-one, you then market one-to-many. That way, it's a better use of your marketing time. This is so important for us women as well, who are running house and home and children and all the other things that we're juggling. I know you're likely to be someone, if you're like me, you want your business to run around your family commitments, not in spite of them. And so marketing one-to-many is a great return on your marketing time. So let's just say, because we're talking about, speaking here, let's just say you do one speaking gig and it's an hour long. You can reach, 10, 20, 30, hundreds of people, just depending on the size of the event. And the other thing is let me tell you, you don't need to be speaking to too many people in order to make really great money, as my last training demonstrated. You only need a few people to make great money if you've got your business model structured correctly. All right. Next up is step number 4 is to let me just scroll up a bit. Get your message out into the world in a way that is authentic and inspiring without being pushy and salesy. So the answer to this is by educating people, by providing value, just as I'm doing here now. I am not selling to you. I'm providing a lot of value. I'm giving you food for thought. I'm giving you tips and advice to get you started. Also, by talking to you in this way, you're getting to know me. You can see me, you can see my body language, you can see my sense of humour. Not that I've got much of a good sense of humour. You just can get a vibe for the type of person I am. And that's the same with speaking. Because when we talk about speaking, it can be live speaking or it can be virtual speaking. And this is how you never have to get into being salesy. If you show up as your authentic self, in all your glory, with all your foibles and the things that makes you you, then, thank you for the emojis, the people you're meant to serve, the people that just resonate with who you are, they're going to be drawn into your world. And that's how you start to inspire people to come further into your world, by being you, by showing value, by demonstrating your expertise. And again, this is about positioning yourself as an authority. It's about demonstrating that you know your stuff, that if someone does come to work with you, that they're going to get what they ask for, because they've already experienced some of it up front. It's like giving people a taster of what it is to be in your world up front. Okay? And that's exactly what speaking can do for you. Next up, step number 5 is to quickly build a list of people who have already pre-qualified themselves as your ideal clients. So this answers that age-old question that I know if you're listening to this now, you may be asking is, where are the quiet clients? Oh my God, where are the clients? Where are the clients? Where's the cash flow? Like, where are they coming from? Where we've run out of leads, where we've spoken to everyone we can think of, and it's like, oh my God, I need to pay the bills. Where's the next client and money coming from? And speaking enables you to do this, because by speaking, you are bringing together your potential ideal clients all in one room. They're all there to hear your message, to hear your wisdom, to hear your expertise and how potentially you can help them. And of course, you can do that in a way that really provides value and builds that rapport and relationship with them. But the other benefit is all those people there in that room have just held their hand up to say, yes, I am actually potentially your client. And so you can use speaking to build your list and have people come into your world so that they can get to know you better. Now, it's not to say that they're all going to become a client immediately, but the chances are, when you've got the right processes in place, and this is exactly what I teach, you then take them from cold to warm to warmer to hot to becoming a client through that relationship building process, through that connection. And so, speaking, not only is it elevating your visibility and positioning you in the marketplace as an authority, it is building a list of potential leads, potential clients who could become your client either right there and then or later on. Because the truth is, not everyone's ready to buy in that moment. They don't know you yet. They don't trust you enough yet. They may not actually be ready to receive your services. They may not really understand the value of what you do yet. But once they are on your list through speaking, you can then educate them. You can cultivate that relationship over time, and then cha-ching, later on, those people drip into your world, becoming, slowly becoming clients, because some people it takes longer. Okay? So that's the other great thing, the other thing you need to be thinking about when you're getting out speaking, about using it to build your list. Now, let's just take a little break there, actually. I've got a few more pointers to share with you. But before I do that, I really want to share with you a little bit more about my upcoming live event happening this Saturday, the 17th. I know some of you who are watching this now will be joining me. I'm very excited to see you. It is called Be Seen, Be Heard. And guess what? It is all about showing up, shining, and really reaching a wider audience through using personal branding, personal style, and speaking, just in the way we were talking about. All the things that we're talking about here is what we're going to go into in a lot more depth on Saturday. So if that is of interest to you, let me just find the link for that. Oh, don't tell me I've lost the link. Just bear with me. Let me find it. I did have it. I thought I'd cut it and paste it into my document, but obviously not. So 2 seconds and I will get that for you. And I will just drop it into the comments. Okay. And then you guys can go over and have a little look at that. But if you are interested in joining us, then do go over there. You can learn more about it there. 2 secs, I'm still trying to find you. There we are. And you can register your space and hear about everything that I am going to be sharing with you. So be seen, be heard. There you go. Voila. And of course it is this Saturday. So you'll need to book your spot today as soon as possible, because people usually register at the very last minute. So get booked in now, because there's a limited number of spaces. Okay, so where was I? Let's get back on. What point were we on? We were on point number 5, about building your list. Laura, hello. You're just joining us halfway through. Please feel free to introduce yourself. Vicky's saying, I've definitely noticed an increase in interest, inquiries, followers and clients since doing more Facebook Lives, talks and workshops where I share more of me. Absolutely. And of course you came to the Be Seen, Be Heard event last time we hosted it. So you can, please do share how you find the event for everybody. So we were talking about building your list, and step number 6 is the other thing you need is to generate a consistent flow of enrolling conversations. Now, this is so important. The key is it's knowing how to do that anytime you need it, so that you never have to wonder where your next clients and cash flow are coming from. Because although what I find is a lot of women, they may be using a lot of visibility strategies such as speaking, but it's knowing how to then take that to have people come further into your world, so that they either become a client immediately or they become a client a little bit further on down the line. And ultimately, as I said, if you are looking to be selling higher ticket packages and programs and services, then you absolutely need to master the art of enrolling. You absolutely do. Because there's a lot of buying skepticism around buying anything these days, especially a service, because it is intangible. It's a non-tangible thing. You cannot touch, taste and feel it until such time that people have purchased it. So for a higher ticket offer, people really want to hear, is this a fit for me? Is this right for me? If I'm investing at that level, am I going to really get what's promised? Am I going to get a return on my investment? And of course, as we know, one of the things I would say on this is, we cannot be 100% responsible for our clients. We cannot guarantee results ever. If you're in the transformational industry, you cannot guarantee transformations. Now, in my business, I'm usually quite forward with that and say, if you work with me, I'll try everything I can to help you get those clients. And pretty much without exception, everybody does get results. However, you've got to realize that some people are just not going to follow the coaching, or they're just going to slack off with something, or they're just not going to be very good at something, and so they just don't get the same results as everybody else. But in the beginning, when it comes to that enrolling conversation and moving people into a high level package, then it has to be about that enrolling conversation, and you do need to master that art. But this is the great thing about speaking. Speaking will, with the formula that I teach, you will basically be able to get, if you've done your marketing right, if you know who your clients are, and we talked about this more in Sunday's training, if you know who you serve and your message is on point, and you structured your talk in the right way, and you've got the right topic and you've got the right people in the room, because that's what this is about, it's having the right people in the room, then at least half the people in the room will actually sign up for an enrolling conversation, which is great news. You will get, we were talking about growing your list, half the nearly sort of 98% of the people will get on your list, and about half the people will enroll for sign up for a enrolling conversation. So you can see how profitable this can be, how profitable speaking can be in terms of generating that consistent flow of enrolling conversations. Because if you're over busy, if you don't have much time for marketing, just think about this for a moment. If you show up and do one speaking gig a month, and you've got 30 people there, that means, because I'm using 30 because there were 30, using the training I hosted on Sunday was talking about my very first speaking gig. I had 30 people there. 15 of those people signed up for an enrolling conversation. The rest of them went on my list, and many of them became clients later on as well. So, if you're busy, think about speaking, because it's going to really create such a massive return on your investment of effort, on your investment of time. It's super, super profitable. Even if you don't do any other marketing at all, this is a good one to be using. Because ultimately, we're moving into step number 7. What you want to be doing is generating big paydays on demand. Because if you do the right things just once, the return on investment is really high. That means you don't have to be running at 100 miles an hour, because if you're generating big paydays, you're not having to run on that treadmill thinking, where's the next client coming from? You know, when you have a big lot of money coming in one go, it's lovely. It gives you that breathing space to think, okay, whew, now I can really think about where I want my business to go next, rather than always being in that fast-paced reactionary state. And this is what's going to generate repeat and increased business as well. Because as I said, when you're out speaking, first of all, you're going to get an increase in the enrolling conversations that you can create, but also you're going to get people on your list as well. Because and if you're marketing to them consistently after that, many of those people then will go into an enrolling conversation as well. So super, super powerful. And the final piece here, step number 8, is to really consider how speaking can quickly add, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, or even 10,000 or more pounds to your income every time you do it, simply by hosting a 1-hour presentation. And listen, let's get smart here. This is about having the same presentation, like your signature talk that you have perfected, that you know is bang on point for your ideal clients, that's really going to position you as that authority that we were talking about earlier, and that really brings that value. When you have that signature talk and it's just spot on, you can then rinse and repeat it over and over and over again. This is what we call working smarter, not harder. And this is why I used to travel all around the UK speaking. I delivered the exact same talk everywhere. And it just created a great stream of income for me, because at the time my son was very young. I didn't want to be out a lot. And so it made sense just to go out to one speaking gig each month and, generate that revenue. So ladies, that is the final step. If you have missed any of this, because of course some of you have missed some other juicy steps, we've had 8 different teaching points here, please go back and listen to the replay, because this is very valuable information. So hands up, or give me some hearts if you have found this interesting. Or found it of value, if you've had some aha moments. And incidentally, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What step is your biggest takeaway from this training here? What has been the biggest aha for you, that, oh my God, yes, this is something I need to be thinking about myself, or this is something I'm missing in my business? Alison is saying internet here was somewhat challenging. Oh, well, I hope you can watch okay on the replay. Often it streams better on the replay. But yeah, who else had some aha, excuse me, ahas, insights? Let me hear. What have you got? Maribel, she's liking it. What are your takeaways, interestingly? Which one was the ting one for you? Because I've found over the years of watching trainings myself, although I must say I never watch them anymore, there's always been one thing that's been like a bolt of lightning that I'm like, oh my gosh, you've so got to do that. You so need to step things up in that area. Marie is saying extremely valuable. Thank you, Victoria. Biggest aha is traveling the country to speaking gigs. What sort of gigs did you speak at? All sorts of stuff. Everything from smaller networking groups to what do you call them? Like annual conferences for my target audience. I used to, what was it called? The coaching exchange, things like that. Basically, annual conferences for coaches, because of course coaches are predominantly my target audience. So yeah, it was a real mishmash. Sometimes they were more professional, sometimes they were more laid back. But as I said, this is the thing, if you're worried about speaking in front of big audiences, don't be. Because if you've got the right business model, if you've got the right packages and programs and the right processes in place, you can make really great money by speaking to just very small groups. You really can. I've spoken to very small groups. I remember speaking to a group of, how many people were there? 7 people. It was a networking group. And that night, would you believe, I actually made £8,000. So it can be very, very profitable indeed. And they didn't all, I'll admit, only one signed up. No, actually, I'm lying. 2 signed up there and then that night. And actually, I think a third one later became a client when I think about it. So it was probably more than 8,000 altogether. Alison saying, having a simple, systematized business model that you can put people into, moving people into increasing connection with me. It's time. I've been studying this for too long. Yes, it's time. It's time. It is about just showing up and sharing your wisdom and talking to people in whatever format that is, whether it's live speaking, whether it's one-on-one conversations, whether it's this, obviously I use this more than going out speaking now because it means I don't have to leave home. But I will say, there's nothing quite like speaking. Live speaking, that is. It really does build that know, like and trust factor a bit faster, and the reason being is because after you've done your speaking gig, people will often come over and talk to you and actually get to know you better, and that's where the real business happens, when people see the person behind the business, because that's what they're buying. They're buying you and all that you stand for. Marie is saying, thank you, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, Marie. So hands up, how many of you may be joining us on Saturday? I'd love you to come, it'd be so exciting, so we can get into this topic in more depth. I know Marie is coming. Who else did I see in the comments that's coming? Just having a quick scroll through. When Vicky has already been to be seen, be heard. Anyone else? Anyone else coming? Maribel, are you coming? I don't want to lose you all if I scroll too far. Vicky, have a great day Saturday. I enjoyed it when I came. You absolutely did. We had a good day. All right, ladies. Well, listen. For those of you who are joining me on Saturday, I look forward to seeing you in all of the Art Deco splendor that we will be in. I'm planning to give you lots of content, and it's a nice intimate event, so I'm happy to really be working in the moment to help you get what you want. And yeah, for those of you who are thinking of coming, and if you've got any questions, just come reach out to me, have a chat to me. You're not committed to come, but if you're not sure, if you're on the fence, reach out, ask your questions and see if it's a fit for you. So that is it from me, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It is always a joy and pleasure to chat to you. I will catch you in a few days. I've got some other things that I'm going to be sharing with you. So lots of love. See you on Saturday, some of you. And other than that, I see the rest of you here in the Inspired to Greatness group very soon. Thanks for listening in. Take care. Bye for now.